guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a video that I should have made ages ago, but one of my previous videos I talked about 5 study techniques that you should get rid of ASAP because they're really ineffective, or there are better techniques out there that you could potentially benefit more from. So today I'm going to be talking about not 5 but like 6 study techniques that you could use instead of the study techniques that I mentioned in my previous video. So yes, there are study techniques about the actual study session, but as human beings, nothing that we do is done in isolation. Like, everything that we do affects everything else. These techniques and tips apply to your study sessions as well as your overall well-being. So basically I got 3 A stars in my A levels, and I got 7 9s in my GCSEs. So I do feel like I know a little bit about what I'm talking about regarding study techniques and what works and what doesn't. So without further ado, let's jump right in. You've heard this many times, but first of all, you need to use active recall techniques. And I'm pretty sure you're now like, okay, oh god, there she goes again. Use active recall techniques. But what is active recall? It's quite easy to be familiar with the content. Like, if you're flicking through your textbook or your notes and you go through it and you're like, yes, I know this, yes, I know this. It might not be that you actually have that stored in your brain or in your mind. It's more that your brain is telling you, or flagging up rather, that yes, I do have a memory about this, but it's not telling you what the memory is or where it's stored, right? That is recognition, that is familiarity. If you're doing MCQ quizzes or MCQ tests, then yes, that is helpful. But if you're actually doing your A-levels or GCSEs, what you want to achieve is not only brain being like, yes, I think I have a memory about what you're going through. It's like, I have a memory, this is where it's stored, and basically pulling out like a file from your computer, like this is all that you know about a certain topic. So recall is much harder to attain. It's quite demanding. Your memories are stored in connections between your nerve cells or neurons, and to make new connections requires a lot of energy, and therefore active recall tends to be a lot more demanding than just highlighting, for example. But that also means that it serves for long-term learning. Now, it's going to be hard when you try and make new memories, but the more you use them, the more you recall a specific topic, the stronger these memories are going to be, and potentially they can last you a lifetime. The different active recall methods that you can use is flashcards, quizzes. One of my personal favorite is brain dumping, where you take a topic and then you write everything down that you can remember about that topic without looking at your notes. Like, don't look at your notes at all. Then you can identify gaps in your knowledge when you compare your brain dump with your notes. Another one that I do all the time, or I used to do all the time in my A-levels, was pretending like I'm teaching someone else. And you know how the saying goes, teaching means you learn twice. So if you pretend like you're teaching someone else, and if you can make them understand the concepts, it shows that you yourself understand the concepts really well. So now moving on to number 2, have a certain place to study in. Now, you probably don't have an entire room dedicated to study in, but even just having a desk and a chair, it can be on your dining table or a separate corner of your room. It really helps put you in that study mindset. How so? Basically, your brain starts associating your study space with the action that takes place in that space. So when you basically sit down to study on your desk, your brain starts associating that place, the desk and the chair, with the action that you're about to do, studying. So it's easier to get into the study mindset. It's easier to get into a flow state. Okay, number 3 is focusing on sleep, nutrition, and your well-being. Sleep has 4 major stages. There's the REM sleep, which is the rapid eye movement, and is the stage during which we tend to dream. And then the 4 non-rapid eye movement sleeps, which are stages, which are associated with regenerating and healing and restoring. Our memory consolidation takes part in the rapid eye movement stage of your sleep, which is when you dream. During the rapid eye movement stage of sleeping, your brain is pulling up new and old memories and consolidating them. It's activating them to ensure that these memories stay well and alive in your brain. When you skip on sleep, right? You're essentially giving up on all of the 4 stages of sleep, but mostly you're giving up on rapid eye movement sleeps, where your memory consolidation takes place. And as a student, if you've just learned something new that day, you need that REM sleep more than anything else. You need that to consolidate all the new information that you've stored in your brain during that day, and giving up on sleep in general is just not a good idea. The loss of rapid eye movement sleep has also been associated to decline in cognitive functioning. Cognitive functioning is what you need at its peak to study for exams, right? Or just study in general. Lack of sleep has also been associated with mood swings, irritability, mood disorders, anxiety, and even depression. So sleep is something that you really should not be giving up. Pulling all-nighters is not cool. I'm sorry, sleeping 5 hours, 4 hours is not cool. Staying up until 3 a.m. Not cool. If you don't want your studies to suffer, sleep well. Go to bed. Like, not right now, after this video, but go to bed. Then we talk about nutrition. Did you know that your brain, the organ right here, it makes up about 2% of your body mass, but it consumes 20 to 25% of all foods, like all of the calories that you intake every single day. It is such a energy intensive organ, and if you are a serial meal skipper, guess what you're losing? You're losing your cognitive ability to function. Not eating well enough, not eating enough nutritious food has been associated to lower cognitive abilities, lower cognitive functioning. It makes you feel irritable, hangry, just moody. Have you ever tried studying while you're hungry, while you're angry and annoyed? Right, it just doesn't work, right? So you need to have your nutrition on point, not only to keep your brain up to speed, but also your body, so you feel well enough to study. Okay, and then your hobbies, your mental well-being. I know it seems counterintuitive to tell you to actually do your hobbies while you're potentially in an exam season, but it's not as counterintuitive as it sounds. So studies have shown that engaging in your hobbies actually puts you in a better mood and helps prevent burnouts, and also wards off anxiety and feelings of depression. And now you're asking, should I really be spending all my precious study time during exam season on hobbies? Well, obviously not all of it, but some of it, yes, definitely. Hobbies will also put you in a really good mood and just protect you against burnout. As long as you do it in moderation, as long as you don't get carried away with doing it all the time, engage in your hobbies. Go. Okay, next, you're gonna hate me for this. Throw your phone out the window. Just do it. No, I'm kidding. Don't throw your phone out of the window. Maybe go put it under a plant. Put it under a pillow, under the mattress, give it to a responsible adult in the house, and no, that cannot be you. Sorry, not sorry. Now that you've done that, well done. Go ahead and close all social media tabs on all of your devices. In fact, log out, delete the app, install the app blocker extensions, and just don't go on social media. And now we're ready to talk. So the 4th point is minimizing distractions. If you're distracted, your study sessions end up being longer. They are not as productive as they could be. So there are several different ways of minimizing distractions. One can be keeping your desk clean, like get rid of everything that does not need to be on your desk for you to study. Throw your phone out of the window, or like I said, don't throw your phone out of the window. Keep it away from you when you are studying. You can lock it in a drawer, you can keep it in another room, you can give it to a responsible adult in your house. Minimizing distractions is really important because as humans, we have a very limited attention span and we can get distracted really, really easily. So that means that all of our limited mental cognitive resources that we have, if we want to study effectively, we need to dedicate all of them to the sole act of studying. When you stop going on Twitter in the middle of your study sessions just to rant about how bad your study session's actually going, your study sessions will start going better, I promise. Not only will undistracted study time make your study sessions more productive, it means that you can get more done in less amount of time. So you have more time to do what you want to do. Isn't that the goal? I'm really sorry, I'm sat outside. I did not think the lighting would change this much. The 5th point is have your goals visible. Now, whether you believe in the law of attraction or you don't believe in the law of attraction, having your goals visible, I believe personally, is the single best way to get on track to achieving them. That doesn't necessarily mean that you'll automatically achieve them, no, but it keeps you focused. Take out pictures of the university that you want to go to, or like write down what grades you want to achieve. Have have them there in front of you, somewhere you can see them all the time. Every time you feel like giving up, look at those, because I remember I personally did it. I wrote down the grades that I wanted to achieve, which was 3 A stars, up on my whiteboard, and every time the study session got too hard, I was too demotivated or tired, I just look up at the grades that I wanted at that time, and I said to myself, right, we need to do this. It's painful at the moment, but I will do it because I know I deserve those 3 A stars for how much effort I've put in. There's also studies to back this up. So a study done by Dr. Matthews at university tracks students who wrote down their goals as opposed to students who did not write down their goals over a 4-week period. So the students who did write down their goals were significantly more likely to have achieved them as opposed to the students who didn't write down their goals. Need any more proof that it works? Furthermore, having goals that are visible to you not only keeps you accountable for how much work you're doing, it also tracks your progress. Setting realistic goals is the best way to achieve them. So if you need to tweak your goal, that's fine. That's better than not having a goal at all. And then the last point, the 6th point that I want to talk about is taking regular breaks. As humans, can't really maintain our peak focus for more than 45 minutes at a stretch. If you have a study session that's longer than 45 minutes, your performance declines as time goes on. So taking regular breaks essentially acts like a refresh button to how long you can focus or how long you can maintain peak focus for. And maybe you feel like you can't focus for longer than half an hour on this one subject that you really despise, but you can spend 2 hours focusing on a subject that you really love and the time just flies by. So study sessions and breaks, they're not one size fits all. So it's completely subjective. It's what works for you. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you should take 1 hour study sessions and then a 10-minute break. No, work out for yourself. How long do you feel like you can work best for? And then how much break do you need to recover? So note down your natural tendencies and then work with them and not against them. Whatever you feel is the best for you, keep a note of it and then bring that into practice, because realistically we're not all the same. It doesn't have to be a competition. You're just trying to do the best that you can do, and the best that you can do changes. So as long as you're giving your best in that study session, you're doing good. So these were my 6 rather lengthy study tips, but if you'd like to read more about them, I do have an entire blog post with even more detail about some of the studies that I mentioned, more studies that I did not mention, and links to the journal articles or the articles. And so check that out if you're interested. The link is in my description down below. Also, if you feel like your study sessions aren't the best that they can be, check out this video about 5 study techniques that you might be doing that you probably should abandon as soon as possible. So happy studying up until then. I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.